Well, by 2005, someone actually cooperated against you with the feds.
Yes.
Who was this?
He was a friend of one of my really dear friends. And, you know, one thing about it, when you sit up there in the line of business that I once was in, you know, I'm always supposed to be kept safe. You know, it's like I'm the one who getting ready to get the bag. So I never, ever went and just really grabbed money from another dude, another street dude or something like that. If it was a lick that I was hitting, I send someone like Big E. You know, that's what I would do because they don't need to see me because soon as dudes see me, then they automatically, they want to take advantage. And that's what happened with the situation. My friend turned around, connected us on a three-way with a move that we was making, and it was for a bag. And once he recognized my voice on the phone, which he had no business, turning around and calling me on the three-way with him anyway. And that's where shit got fucked up. Because he was like, oh, Dwen, I don't even know who this motherfucker is. For real. Like, total bum-ass snitch. Like, for real. I would really call his name out, but I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
He know who he is.
And he was working with the feds.
And he from Oakland.
Okay. And so he was basically working with the feds to try to bust you.
No, that's not what happened. I did a wire. And when I did the wire, I gave them specific instructions. Usually whenever I did a wire, I always made sure that there was paperwork to back it up so that in the event that you need to go to the branch and take them paperwork in reference to receiving the money or them trying to freeze your account, then you could have that. So I always made sure that that was the case. They did not follow proper protocol. And that's where shit got fucked up. Because I'm already being nice, because it's like, I don't know, what, $375 or something like that. I'm cutting it in thirds. So y'all could all eat.
$375,000. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So I'm like, I'm cutting it in thirds. So the people in the middle, they could go ahead and eat and they could split their money. The people at the bank, the reason why, I mean, not at the bank, but, you know, where the account, where the money is going to, then that money is in case your whole ass get caught up. Or any of that. Because you already knew the job was dirty when you signed up for it.
Yeah.
And then when you don't listen, then shit get fucked up. They want to take their time getting the money out. I said, what in the ghetto gala is going on? Y'all need to get all of this out. And they didn't. I said, well, you know what? This is what you do. Y'all can take y'all time with y'all shit. Run my Trinette all of that. I got my money. When she went in to go and get her money, there's Tilly. Tilly done got her together. And she done told on her boyfriend. After she done told on her boyfriend, he done turned around, told on my friend and me. Yeah.
Okay. And then by 2009, the feds actually raid your house in Calabasas.
Yes.
You're not home at the time.
Right.
But your family's at the house.
Right.
When you found out about the raid, what went through your head? Was this the first time that a bust or an arrest of any sort was happening? Have you been just like evading the authorities all these years?
Yeah, there was a situation that happened with my Woodland Hills home where they came in there and everything. And, you know, nobody ended up getting arrested or any of that. With this particular situation, it was a lot different. I was in Oakland. I had just did a wire. And when I did The Wire, I don't even think it was that much money. I think it might have been like, I don't know, it might have been 100,000, 75,000, something like that. Anyway, the money had cleared. So I was in a Maserati in mine driving from LA to Oakland. So I'm actually not even knowing what's going on. I talked to my little brother while I'm on the phone, and the dude in the car kept doing like this. But he was in like one of them accurate stuff, one of them little accurate cars. He said, "Oh, you want to race?" I said, "Oh, okay." So, I click my buttons on the Mazzy. I'm hitting them, jerking. So he take off. Shoo. So I let him go, and and went right by him. But next thing I know, I'm doing like 130 miles. So I get pulled over. But when I get pulled over, anything over 100, especially in California, you're supposed to get locked up.
Yeah.
Period. So when I pull over, I'm on the phone with my mother. I tell her, look, first I was talking to my brother. Then I call mommy and I let her know I'm getting pulled over. I'm probably getting ready to go to jail. So I get pulled over in an unmarked car. And it's a black man, and he get out. And when he get out, he come to the door, and, I got the car parked. He said, "Why you going so fast? Like, what's going on with you?" He said, let me see your license and your registration. So I give it to him or whatever. And he don't even really look at it. And he give it back. He said, "You know what?" He said, "What you need to do, you really need to be careful." He wasn't even talking about no speed. He already knew that they was coming because that next morning is when they came.
Aha. Okay. So your Calabasas house gets raided. Does anyone in the house get arrested?
No.
Okay. Because you're not there.
No. My ex was in there.
In the hidden part of the house.
Yeah. He was in there. And I always told him, I said, don't never go in here. If anything happened, like, leave this alone. Because when you walked in, like, at that time, when you walked into my closet, it looked like a dressing room, and everything was just very neat and pristine and all of that. It really was no need to move anything. But in back of, my stuff was a trap closet. And that's where I had all of the files. But something kept telling me, bitch, you need to get this out of here. Because I was really starting to stress out. And I really felt like, I said, oh, this is like real bad, because my stomach was hurting. So my stomach was letting me, you know what I'm saying? It was my spirituality. It was making me aware, like, bitch, it's about to go down.
Right. When the feds came in, they found that
Everything.
the hidden part, and they found all the
when
records
his
and
big
everything.
ass was upstairs in the closet, because the way the house was, it's my closet. Up under, it's like the living room and the dining room. So all of the alphabet boys is right there, up under. And there's tons of them. His big ass is up in that damn closet, and he done made a move. That's what made them zoom up there and start pulling shit out. And they found his big ass up in there. They thought it was me hiding. But, shit, I was in Oakland partying like a rock star with my BFF. We had to hit a lick, got some, you know what I'm saying? I got the bag and all of that. And my little sister called. She said, it's bad.
How did you feel when you heard about the raid?
Stressed out, almost threw up.
Yeah.
I said, where are you at? She said, I'm in the bathroom. They let me use the bathroom. She said, it's bad. I said, did they find anything? She said, they got everything. When she said everything, I thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah. And eventually you turned yourself in.
Yes.
You were indicted for a bunch of stuff.
Credit card fraud, wire fraud, check fraud,
Identity theft.
Yeah, definitely.
All that.
It's a plethora of things.
Okay. Did you plead out?
Yeah, I did. I ended up taking a plea deal. But see, one thing about a plea deal is that I'm on my own case. So, I wasn't a tattler. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was in my shit. So
you didn't snitch on anybody.
Yeah, no, because they were trying to give me 10 years in the state and 10 years in the feds and run it bow-legged.
One after another.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years.
The shit was terrible.
Okay. How much money did you spend on lawyers to get to that plea deal?
None, because for the most part, what people fail to realize is that when you go and you are dealing with the feds, at least for me, my experience was that you spend all that damn money on a lawyer and all of that shit, and then the federal government basically has like some of the best damn lawyers, and they don't work cohesively together with the prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? Like, they specifically are there for you. Like the one that I had, Nina, she killed the whole game, and she only about 4'6", and she was a tiger. It was deep. My god sister Renee was, she brought her in as her paralegal to work on the case.
Yeah, I mean, when the feds bust you, they already have everything laid out. They,
Pretty much.
99% conviction rates. 97% conviction rate.
I mean, really a lot of times, motherfuckers tell on themselves.
Right. Well, and when they hang those huge numbers over your head, most people just plead out because they're too scared of the
who's doing numbers. Like, that's what I said. Like, what the fuck? Took about 30 years.
So you took 4 years?
I ended up getting 77 and a half months, and I ended up doing 4.5 years.
Okay. So you accept the plea deal and you check yourself into prison.
Yes.
Okay. So you start your prison term.
Right.
And what prison did you go to first?
Okay. So that's where we have to go back, because there's a gap that you're missing, because a few years prior to that, I got caught up doing something. And so I ended up getting sentenced to I think 90 days or something like that. But they wanted me to get like a prison number. Mm-hmm. So they sent me from LA County to Delano, from Delano to San Quentin. And then that's right there. That was the first one.
Okay. This one, was it San Quentin?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 2000. When did you actually start your San Quentin sentence? Was it 2011 or was it earlier?
No, that would have to. See, remember I told you it's like a few years before that. It was probably like 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Right.
So you are trans, but they put you in a men's prison.
Right.
Now, you had already started hormone therapy by that time?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, number one.
Well, no, not 2005. No, that didn't happen until later. That wasn't until 8.
Okay. So later on, you start on hormone therapy. So you're presenting yourself as a woman.
Right.
But they put you in a men's prison.
Right.
Did you try to fight and go into a women's prison?
No.
Or was that just not an option at that point?
No, I mean, well,
because you see, for example, you hear of stories these days where trans women go into women's prison.
Right.
And then you hear these stories how they get some of the other inmates pregnant and so
that's
forth.
Real deep, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. No, I definitely was not. Because, like I said early on, I'm used to dealing with dudes from the street. So I wasn't like scared about that or anything, because I know like my cousins and them, and just, during life experiences and just seeing how stuff is. I know I'm a person where I mind my business and, I'm not getting ready to be in yours. And basically, that's what it's about. Everything is about, having a respect factor.
Well, your first night in San Quentin, your cellmate was doing 25 years.
Yeah, I think he had like a life sentence, but he had already been in there like 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And something happened.
Right. It was.
Can you talk about it?
Sure. It was a really bad situation because, like I said, I didn't even have long to do. And at that particular facility, they had a camp, and then I think maybe like a level 1 or 2, and then it's the maximum, where the lifers are, 10 plus and everything. Instead of them sending me to the camp, because remember now, Vlad, I only got like 60, 30 days left, something like that. I shouldn't be going to where the lifers are.
Yeah.
But what I found out is that the guards actually take the girls and traffic them to the lifers because, like they say, you bring a bitch around, then you could calm down a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So when they put me there, then that's when it just ended up being a really bad nightmare.
Okay. You were sexually assaulted?
Yeah, it was repeatedly. It was like, it's like no other. It was powerless. How do you be locked in a cell and it's bars, and you can't get out? And if you ever look at any of the documentaries on television and you see where the bars are, where it's open bars and all of that, and I literally had to like bite down on the pillow or whatever it was not to like make no noise and scream, because I don't want to come out of the cell and be embarrassed. But it wasn't just me. You would hear this like throughout the night. So I don't know who sat up there and said some shit talking about, oh no, it don't happen like that no more. No, use a motherfucking lie. That's not even a story that I don't even like to tell the story because I think of my mother and my siblings. Because the shit didn't come out until Trap Queens.
Yeah.
That's how embedded and buried it was. But, I'm authentic. That's some shit I've dealt with. But then they have to learn how to deal with that shit now.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
sad. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Nah, it was awful. You just like, yeah, that shit is crazy.
I mean, were you seeing... Well, I mean, you talked about it. I guess other trans prisoners were getting raped as well.
It wasn't... Look, let me tell you. When I ended up the next morning, he went to the yard or whatever, and I went out on the tier. So Auntie Jazzy, I'll never forget her. She came down to where I was. And she said, hey, baby, what's your name? And I said, Dwen. She said, Dwen, that ain't no girl name. I'm going to call you Dee Dee. So I was laughing. She said, you all right? And I said, yeah, I'm good. She said, no, you're not. So she grabbed my face. She lifted it up, turned me to the side, each side. She said, go get your shit. You coming with me. And I said, well, what you mean? She said, let me tell you this. Every bitch that done came out of this cell has usually left up out of here on a stretcher with their ass busted, they jaw broke, or something like that. She said, I don't know how you did it, but get your shit, you coming with me. So she had like one of her homeboys with her, Lamb. I'll never forget. He was a Crip. And they took me up to Jazzy cell. I got up there. I had never felt, and it's so crazy to say, more at home. You know, she was doing everything, selling heroin, selling weed, doing all that and running around. And the dude came back from the yard. And the other inmates had told them that Jazzy had took me and he came looking for me. Where the bitch at? Whatever. So they ended up paying him to leave me alone because Lamb kept telling him, man, she too short. You know, when you short, that means you ain't got no time left. You really ain't, nigga, you got a life sentence. The bitch is short.
Yeah.
Like, leave her alone. So they made sure everything was good.
Okay. What year did you actually get out from that term?
Remember, I didn't even have long to do. It was within that year.
Okay. Do you remember what year that was?
Remember I said it had to be like 2005, 2006? Yeah, something like that. It was in between in that era.
Okay. You went back in, was it 2011?
2009 is when I got indicted.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how long was that other term?
The
4
first
years?
stint that I did was 4.5 years.
Okay.
And then once I got out in 2013, and then 2015 is when I went back.